We are at the point of no return. I have a lovely new set of templates. This is where the original lines were. The template that I used was a hand-drawn Les Paul type shape. This one I have here is actually accurate. I don't want necessarily the control cavity to go off into this, because that means we're losing some of the lovely gold, which means a traditional Les Paul style cavity is going to be sort of off the cards, unless I absolutely polish the hell out of it. I'd like to avoid that. So that probably means no switch up here, and we offset it and just have two, a volume and a tone potentially, or a more, what do I want to do? Dagnammit. If I do this, then I've got a switch up here in the black, there. There's going to be a drill hole. One pickup goes into that cavity, the other pickup goes into that cavity, or I ignore that switch entirely, move this slightly that way, nobody would ever notice. I think this is it, really. Say hello to the point of no return. My all. Of course I could change my mind. That works out well. Now I don't want to switch here, so I need a switch here. So having the traditional Les Paul 4 controls plus a switch is an issue. I'm going to figure that one out later. For now, we have an outline. The cavities all miss any of the beautiful resin rivers. I think this is going to be fun, don't you? And there we have it. All right. So that was a little bit more problematic than I'd hoped. Relatively old bandsaw blade, and something in the resin or the oak basically messed it up in the process. But I couldn't be happier. Well, I could. I mean, it could be finished and I could be playing it at this point. But there has to be a process. Here you are. I am happy. I have been doing a little bit of testing. There are two ways you can do this. You can either go on a router table and route around the whole template with a bearing cutter, or you can go on a spindle sander and just sand down to the line. I have played with resin before. I have routed various acrylics, etc., and it works very well. And I've run a test on a small piece of waste, and it works. So, time to put the template on the body, or the body on the template. Which comes first? Masking tape, super glue, accelerator, the masking tape and super glue trick. This is, without a doubt, one of the most useful tricks that we know of, and we use it all the time for holding things on CNC machines and router templates and thin stock on my workbench. If you haven't tried this, go and check out the video, hopefully link below, where I explain the whole thing again in a little bit more detail. It is amazing. I think that was a little bit fun, wasn't it? Success, pretty much. Let me know in the comments below. I do actually read all of them and I reply to as many as I possibly can. So I want more access to this neck joint. So yeah, that's going to give me a lot more access and still give me a nice gluing surface for the neck. There you go. I love spindle sanders, and I'm playing with this miniature one, which is perfect for little home use. Triton. It's my first proper go at it, actually. It's bloody useful. So happy. Now, very basically, what I'm going to do is work out where the bridge position is, put a 6mm pencil there, and then plane down. And that will give me pretty much the perfect angle. You don't need to work out 1.5 degrees or 2 degrees or whatever. A 6mm pencil on the bridge line, and then either a long plane sitting on the front edge and on the pencil, or in this case, I'm not going to use a hand plane because, well, I don't think resin planes very well. I'm going to use a little electric planer, actually, which should do the job quite nicely. Okay, so there's the pencil, and that is the break angle that we want. So essentially I want to plane back at this angle to about the front of this pickup cavity. That will reduce that by 6mm and give me my carving line. However, let's just use the pencil to draw. I'm going to take this very, very slow. It's quite dangerous actually, but the way that we would do this otherwise is either a plane like that, or we would put it on an angled piece of wood and put it through a planer thicknesser, which is even, you know, more scary. Nice, it tunes ear defenders. Just in case you think I'm not actually protecting my hero. Not that this little thing's, it's a little Bosch, what is it? What's the model? GHO. Anyway, it's not that loud. Anyway. All right, let's look that up. Done. That was a little bit messy, but pretty successful really. But there's no chipping out or issues with the resin. So that worked well. Taking very small passes, very, very small. But we're here. So next up is going to be, no, I need to clean this bench. Okay, I need a bin. This stuff is going to be in my workshop forever. Okay. That's there, and that is now at the correct break angle for the bridge height for the Tunematic. In this light, I can't see my pencil lines. White pencil it is. That's better. I'm going to be playing with a little Bosch router today. I have built this workshop as if it's a tool collector's haven, and I wondered if I could build a guitar with a battery-powered router. And spoke to Bosch, got a battery-powered router. They also sent me this little planer thickness electric planer, which actually was useful in this case. It was the right tool for the job, although I obviously love hand tools. And a drill, and it's, well, let's see how it goes. I need battery. And this is the first time I've turned this on. It's pretty cool. So that's your release there. Oh, that's quite cool. Okay, so it's a sprung base. It's a laminate trimmer, really, isn't it? With some fine adjustment as well. Okay, we want that there. And that's a lock, so that's not going to move. That's running off. Template, that's fine. "12 volt. I'm not expecting it to be too loud, but you never know. I love playing with new toys. So I'm taking fairly large chunk away. I think it needs, well, it's a laminate trimmer, it's for MDF and stuff like this. This is harder than it's used to or designed for, maybe, but working. Stunning. Not as powerful as the big routers we tend to use, but I mean, it's a router. It works, and it's really, really nice to use. That removed a lot of oak. This is technically designed for something else entirely, template making and MDF and kitchen making stuff, but I rather like it. Tiny router worked. Oh my gosh. I've got a lot of filling to do. Cavities, cavities, cavities. I am not going to route any more cavities. I'm going to go and carve the top, and then we're going to figure out where we're going to go from there. We're going to go down to the students' studio. We have a very, very busy guitar building school downstairs, and I'm going to use their machine shop because it's nice and bright and light, and it means that I don't get dust all over all of this. Well, not too much at least. Come on. This is going to be very messy. I'm using the random orbital and a geared sander, so it's stronger than average. In fact, I could probably carve the whole guitar with this if I wanted to. The bit of resin on here is getting a little bit too warm and sort of, I think I'm going to go back to the angle grinder. Obviously, I was worried that that was going to disintegrate on me. I didn't think it would, but you never really know. And that hasn't happened. I'm really happy with how this has turned out. It's not exactly the finished shape. I am going to... I didn't want to warm up the resin any more than I had to, basically. At this stage, I've got a lot of cavities and you can hear that there. Bits and pieces that need to be filled with ebony dust and super glue and the like. And then we're going to sand it down again. And then and only then are we going to start seeing clear, sexy resin again. Before I get any further, I need to think about the control cavity, etc. I don't want it to go into the resin. And if I put it in the traditional position for a Les Paul, it does go into the resin. I also don't want to have my switch up at the top here because, again, that's bang in the middle. That's bang in the middle of the resin here. And while I could do it, it would take a lot of polishing and sanding and polishing and sanding to get the inside of that perfectly clear. I also wouldn't be able to shield it. And the cavity of a guitar that's going to be played needs to be shielded, basically. So that would just ruin the looks. So essentially what I really need to do is, unfortunately, throw away the traditional Les Paul twin volume, twin tone and the three-way toggle layout and move to something a little bit more modern. And I'm thinking a nice line, just a volume, a tone and a switch. Or maybe a volume, a switch and a tone. Or maybe a tone, a volume. No, volume, tone and a switch there, following the curve of the body. And that will be fairly nice and easy to achieve. So very basically, something like that, volume, tone, switch, and then suddenly, because we don't have a traditional Les Paul layout, and we don't have a traditional Les Paul bridge layout, that won't look strange because that's different, that won't look different because it's all gonna work together. This is gonna be a fun guitar. Gold pickup covers, black plastic pickup surrounds, 3-body stringing, tune-o-matic bridge, gold speed knobs, a gold barrel jack because of the depth of the body, and I have that very, very, very sexy set of Goto tuners. This all is called The Point of No Return. One of you fans named it that and I love it. Okay. So there we have it, no tear out. And I have a shape that I can use to either make a template or see if maybe we have one already in stock that will do. Okay, we have this. I need to figure out where to put it. So obviously the angle of the resin here is an issue. So that is the line beyond which I cannot go. That works. Perfect. Okay, here we go. Stunning. we go. It does. Oh, right. Spot on. And here we go. I mean, not traditional, but then again, when have we ever been traditional? I've sanded this down. It's pretty much there. The body is roughly sanded down, filled, pretty much there. I need to play around with fitting the neck. I'm having fun. So what I'm doing here is a bevel, and the bevel changes size. And it's something I do on quite a lot of my guitars actually, because it gives the instrument more of a feeling of movement, and it slims it down in places, and it's a little bit less machine made, basically. So I'm going to glue the neck in. This neck, the neck of neckness. Let me just double check I put those in the right place. Phew. Thou shalt not forget to drill. That's all you need to know. I made a guitar, mummy. That was weird. I don't know what happened there. Just, yeah, long day. Not enough coffee. Just get the thing out of my face. Stunning stain. This is a spirit-based black stain. We also have water-based stains, etc. But this is not one of them. Yeah. Nearly got me, didn't you? I think this is the first time that I've actually remembered on video to put a glove on first. And here we go. So I'm going to fill a few of these little cavities with black super glue and ebony dust, etc. And I'm going to cut out and make a backplate quickly. And then it is basically time for fine sanding and finishing. And I'm going to pass it over to one of my fantastic assistants to do that, because I don't trust myself at the spray booth anymore.